Hey guys, welcome back to the trade breakdown video. In this one, I'm going to walk you through a trade I took yesterday on gold futures, and the best part? The concepts I'm about to show you, they work on every market. Whether it's Forex, crypto, or indices, the logic is universal. Alright, let's dive into the daily chart first. Now, pay attention here. The market opens and right away it does something interesting. It sweeps the previous day's low, grabbing liquidity. At this point, most people think it's bearish. But watch what happens next. Instead of continuing down, the market reverses and pushes higher. That's the first clue. It doesn't want to go lower. But here's what sealed the deal for me. At the exact same time, silver was showing SMT divergence. While gold swept the lows, silver didn't. That's classic smart money behavior. So, we've got liquidity sweep, bullish reaction, and SMT confirmation. With all that lined up, I was confident this trade had potential. Now let's drop down to the 4-hour and see how we plan the entry. Now, moving on to the 4-hour time frame. We can clearly see that the market is forming a range here. And here's something important. When a market takes out one side of a range, there's a high probability it'll come for the other side too. But that only happens if we have the right context behind the move. Now, if you look here, we've got a clean swing formation. The London 2 a.m. candle comes in and prints the low of the day. And this is where things get interesting. You might ask, how do we know that's actually the low of the day? Well, to confirm that, we need to drop down to the 1-hour or 30-minute time frame. And what we're looking for is a clean CSD, a change in state of delivery, right after that low forms. If that shows up, that swing becomes protected. That's when we know buyers are stepping in with intent. Let's drop down to the lower time frame now and look for that confirmation. All right, now we're on the 30-minute chart. So why 30-minute? You can use either the 1-hour or the 30-minute time frame to confirm CSD, the change in state of delivery, especially when you're trying to identify the low of the day. But remember this, not every CSD on these time frames is meaningful. There needs to be context. And today, we've got that context. We're reacting off a previous daily low. That's our key level. And now, take a look. We've got a clean CSD on the 30-minute. That tells us the low is protected. And if we're bullish, the market shouldn't want to violate that low again. Now, for our targets, look at this. We've got a failure swing high above. That's one of our high probability liquidity pools. Watch this closely. The 9:30 candle opens, sweeps the previous candle's low, taps into a bullish fair value gap, and then closes above. That right, there is our C2 reversal. Now all we have to do is align the upcoming 10 a.m. PO3 setup with a C3 expansion candle to confirm a move. If you want me to break down C2 reversals in more detail, just drop a comment saying candles, and I'll make a dedicated video on it. All right, now let's drop down to the 3-minute chart and walk through the exact entry. Now, we're on the 3-minute chart, the final step of this breakdown. So right here, the 9:30 candle opens and prints the low right inside a 30-minute FVG, which we already saw earlier. On the 3-minute, you'll notice it sweeps those lows. And here's the sauce. That higher time frame FVG fill becomes a lower time frame liquidity sweep. So now we've got everything lining up. We sweep liquidity, and then we see a clear CSD, or change in state of delivery. At this point, everything looks perfect. All we need now is to align our entry with the 10 a.m. PO3 setup. And look at this. The 10 a.m. candle opens, prints a tiny wick, gives us an SMT divergence with silver, and forms a clean order block. That low now becomes protected, meaning as long as we're bullish, price shouldn't violate that low before hitting our target. So I entered right there on the CSD. My target, a simple 1 to 2 risk to reward. And boom, we hit our TP clean. If you want to see more trade breakdowns like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you learned something new, or even just enjoyed the flow, make sure to smash that like button. I'll see you in the next video.